Tonight, we will discuss states. When we open the Bible and read the story as it's given to us, we may think we are talking about people that lived, individuals, persons that, as we are. But it's not so. The characters depicted in the Bible are not the individuals named. They are simply states signified by those names. For instance, the name Moses, or the name Abraham, or the name, well, any name that you find in Scripture. They are not individuals, as you and I are. It's simply a state of consciousness through which the individual, you and I, the immortal being, we pass through these states. The word Moses means to be born. It's the old perfective of the Egyptian verb to be born. Abraham, the father of the multitudes. We start there, moving through states. And you and I pass through these states towards our own redemption. We come to the end. And that state is personified in Scripture. And men take the personification and worship it as a person, stick it on the wall, and then cross themselves before it and genuflect, not knowing that these are states. So we must learn to distinguish between states and the individuals who pass through these states. These states are eternal. They are forever. You are an immortal being, and you move through states. The states remain permanent forever. You pass on. We change states. The states do not change. We change states. But we, the individual, we are forever. It's like moving through a city. The city remains, but we pass on. To think that because we have left the city, that the city has ceased to exist would be stupid. The city remains, and we go on. We pass from one state to another state, and finally we come to the end. That end is described in Scripture as Jesus. But that's a state. You are the immortal being passing through states. And when you come to the very end, you are in that state. It was predetermined. It was shown all of us before we started. Shown us in the state called Abraham. We saw it all in detail. And if we entered it reluctantly or not, who knows? Paul tells us that we were made subject unto futility, not willingly, but by the will of him who subjected us in hope. And the hope was that we would obtain the glorious liberty of the sons of God. You go into a restaurant, you don't say, bring me what the chef wants to get rid of tonight. Bring me a menu. And then you order. Maybe he only has that one order that you want. No one else wants it, but you want it. I go into a restaurant back in New York City a few years ago. It was early, I grant you. It was only 11 in the morning, but I had no breakfast. It was brunch. And I took some friends into the Hilton Hotel. And I went to this Bourbon room. Well, it was Sunday, and I don't dress up on Sunday. I went in with an open shirt. Well, New York hasn't quite caught on to California when it comes to wear. And so the head waiter, all stuffy, and he said, button up. And this very, very heavy accent. Well, I have an accent too, so I couldn't criticize him. But here he is with this very, very heavy accent, and he's criticizing my appearance because I had on a jacket, yes, but my shirt was open at the neck. and I'm taking 5 people in to brunch. So I buttoned up the collar, and he gave me a table off the wing, not to be seen by those who were coming with ties and shirts. And then I said, all right, I want clams. When the waiter took my order, clams. I said, yes, I want clams. I don't want bacon and eggs, and I don't want the usual breakfast that you think you're going to serve everyone. I want clams for breakfast. Bring me clams. So he delayed, and finally he bought the clams. And I said, come back here, please. This isn't charity. I'm paying for it. Bring me, I want some horseradish, and I want a little Tabasco sauce. Reluctantly, he goes and he gets that. But that's what I wanted. I'm paying for it. Well, in life, do the same thing. You just don't go in and say, throw me a tie. You select one from maybe 100. A silly little thing that you put around your neck. But you still want one tie, and you want to pick it out. The same thing is true of these states. Don't let anyone poison you and throw you into a state, because you're going to pay the price of that state. We're only moving through states, but they are a permanent, fixed number of states, and the Bible records them. Every character in that Bible is a state.
You've been listening to a short excerpt from Imaginal Acts Become Facts in the original voice of Neville Goddard. You can listen to Neville Goddard in his own voice, Volume 2, which contains 6 lectures of Neville Goddard's plus a bonus, by visiting freeneville.com. That's FREENEVILLE.com. And look for Neville Goddard in his own voice, Volume 2, where you'll get the full-length lectures. All of them are about 45 minutes in length, and they will change your world, just as this one has. Use the principles. Okay? Remember and discover more about the power that you are, and let's just live life the way we're supposed to, as fully empowered, human beings. Have a wonderful day, and keep discovering the power of your imagination. Gosh, it is absolutely well worth it. FreeNeville.com. See ya.